It is Friday, August 22nd, and tomorrow we have a really, really beautiful and powerful new moon that is in Virgo. And so I thought I would hop in today and share a couple of thoughts with you and give you some tips as you head into the weekend on how to utilize a new moon in your life. So, welcome. My name is Katie Glasgow, and I am the Cyclical CEO, and I love teaching women how to really embody their body wisdom and learn how to flow in the way you were designed to flow. So many of us are operating in this world trying to create success and create this freedom in our life, in our bodies, in a way that doesn't work for us. It's very linear, it's very masculine, and it is no longer working. And so if that is you and you're feeling like a little bit of a nudge to try something different, you're wanting to learn how to live in your body a little bit more, you have landed in the right place. So we are going to talk about this new moon, and I'm going to really talk about it in relationship to your body and to your cycles. Okay. So I often tell women when I'm working with them that if you learn nothing else from me, you learn when we actually are designed to rest as women. And so as women with Mama Nature, with our cycles and the moon and the seasons, we have built-in rest times, right? It's time kind of like when we recharge our battery. Think of it as how we sleep at night is how we recharge our batteries, but this is going to be a little bit more intensified. It's longer periods of time, okay? And so when there is a new moon, that is when we rest or when we go inward and we reflect. The same thing as when we are bleeding, right? Like when you're bleeding, you don't feel like doing much. When you bleed is also when you rest, and in the season of winter. So those are kind of our three Mama Nature's built-in ways in which we are meant to rest and recharge, okay? And so this weekend we have a new moon, and a new moon is simply when you cannot see the moon in the sky, okay? There is no moon in the sky. Well, the moon is still there, just doesn't have the reflection it usually does, and you cannot see it. So it's going to be a little bit darker at night. Usually like in nature, the animals aren't out and running around like they would be if it was a full moon and full illumination. And so the new moon is where we kind of take a little bit of a pause. And when we take a little bit of a pause, it's really to slow down, right? It's slow down, to reflect, to ask ourselves, what is it that I truly want in the next season or in the next cycle, in the next 29 and a half days of this next moon cycle? What is it I desire in my life, my business, my health? And when we pause, this is when we can pivot. And when I talk about the linear way of thinking in this way that's no longer working for us, rest is not built in. And for many of us as ambitious women, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, mamas, CEOs, whatever you are, we are taught that rest is being lazy and that we cannot rest, because if we slow down, we rest, it's like that's for the birds and we don't have time for that. But what if this pause and this built-in rest was actually when we can recharge, we can recalibrate, and we can pause long enough to be like, hey, what do I actually want? Can I plan something out? Because so often we are constantly on the go. We're like this to this to this to this to this. I've got the kids' activities, blah, 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 blah. And we are all over the place and we're feeling scattered and it's catching up with us. And we're like, oh, I feel like I'm juggling the ball on a million pieces and I know there's a different way, but what is this way, right? Maybe it's what we're talking about today. Maybe, which I think it's not a maybe, it's a heck yes, is learning how to operate in the way in which your body was designed, okay? So a new moon, we pause so that we can pivot. We pause, we ask ourselves questions. Where am I going? What do I want to do? So this is something I always do with the new moon. I kind of take some time. Now, this is going to be a little bit different depending on where I'm at in my cycle. We're not going to go into that right now. We're just talking about the new moon today, okay? So the new moon is saying, hey, you need to pause, right? Pause, slow down. Now, a couple of things about this new moon, August 23rd, is that it is a new moon in the sign of Virgo. And Virgo is the planetary body that rules rituals and routines and our physical health, okay? And so what we're being invited to in this Virgo new moon is to slow down and really pay attention to where do we need to create change in our physical practices, in our routines, and in our rituals that we're doing every single day. How can I elevate my physical health, my practices, my routines. Okay. It's going to be very much about this beautiful body that we have, which is totally my jam, because I believe that our body is the vessel to our dreams, right? And our dreams can only go at the pace of which we are caring for our bodies, right? And so if we're too busy and we're constantly on the go, we're like, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to eat healthy, I don't have time to, take some supplements, or dial in on some sleep. I don't have time to sleep, right? We've got that old motto, I'll sleep when I'm dead, right? So outdated, right? So what we're doing right now is like we're evaluating. And I love this one too, because it's not just that we are in Virgo where it's like, hey, this is all about our routines and rituals. So many of us are also in that back to school season, right? Because I know I am. We're getting ready to get the kids back to school. They're going back to school on Monday. And so we're getting back into routines. It's kind of like this perfect example, right? We're going to shift into the season of fall in September. So right around the new moon of September, we're going to be shifting into the new season. And so this is all about this shift, right? These shifts in routines. And so that's what I want you to do as you head into this weekend. Oh, and one more thing, I almost forgot. So we've got the new moon, we've got it in Virgo. We also have it, this is our last new moon in the season of summer. Summer is all about expression and play. So how we rest, a lot of times, like I want to know, like when you hear the word rest, you feel like, ooh, that means I'm just like laying on the couch, taking a bath, doing nothing, right? That doesn't always mean rest. When I say to rest and to pause so you can pivot, it is more about taking the time to slow down. What are the activities that you can do that renew you? For me, it's like long walks in the woods, listening to the cicadas. Last night, it was sitting outside journaling and really just lost in my thoughts with my little fire pit going on the deck in the summertime, right? Enjoying the last days of summer and the birds and the cicadas and all of the beauty that nature is providing us, right? It might be, going out on a bike ride or going out in nature or going for a swim or doing some play activities. It's going to be different for each of us. But when you do these rest, and so we're in summer, right? So this is a very, what I call an active new moon. It's going to be a new moon where you are going to be doing things that are moving you forward, right? And so a good way to look at this, a very simple way, as you go into this next week and over the weekend, is to just actually pause and listen to what your body's telling you. Like, hey, is there something I need to upgrade in my physical health? Do I need to get back into healthy routines? Do I want to make sure I'm spending time, again, rituals like spending time, we're eating dinner as a family a couple of nights a week, even with all the busy schedules and going back to school? Am I elevating my sleep routine? Am I, going to shift my sleep routine? Maybe I'm going to add in some essential oils so that I can sleep better. I'm going to up my water intake. And also you can look at it as, you can also ask yourself, because this is also a purging new moon, which usually happens with a full moon, but this new moon is very purging as well. So what practices aren't serving you? Do you need to eliminate some things? And this could be like in your work, in your body. And again, your body is flowing into your work. So maybe we need to say, hey, I've got some things in my physical body, that I need to really focus in on so that I can shift in my work. Maybe I need to get more intentional in my work. What are the activities I'm doing in my work that I really don't need to be doing? They're kind of just fluff. They're just wasting my time. So I'm not able to focus in over here. Okay. So I just want to ask yourself, and when you're doing these and you're setting your intentions for the next month, don't create these great big outlandish. I want you to find one or two things, right? One or two things that you can focus in on that are going to move you forward. And right now we're in this big period of like, hey, we're shifting into the last half of 2025. This is a very big new moon that's here to say, hey, we're ushering in a lot of really new energy. And our old way of doing things, our old paradigms of living in this life, they're not working for us anymore. And if you've listened this far in the video, you feel this and you feel it with all of your soul, but maybe you don't know what to do for the next steps. So start the next steps this week is just simply take some time to pause, right? And ask yourself, where do I need to upgrade? Where do I need to up level? What is happening in my life? Like if I don't create these changes now, I'm going to keep feeling like this, hamster in a wheel, right? Because you're here and you are designed to bring your medicine into the world in ways that are different. and you're not shifting, you're creating these changes, not just for yourself, but for all of the generations that come after us. And it's a really, really beautiful thing. And it's a really beautiful embodiment. And it really starts with learning how to live in our body, how to understand these seasons, these cycles, and who we are. Okay. So if you want any more information on this, make sure you give me the like, the follow. If you're listening to this and you're in the Cyclical CEO, we're going to have our 90-minute planning session next week, which is going to be fun, where we're going to dive into all of this. We're actually going to put it into practicality in our lives. And if you're not part of anything in my world and you would like to be, I have several programs that are, just depending on how you want to dip your toes in the water, to teach you the how, because most of us know right here that we need to slow down, but we're not doing it, and why. And that's what I want to teach you. I want to continue to teach you to evolve and to teach you how to shift these patterns and step into the next level of you. So happy new moon, everyone. I hope this video helped. Share it with a friend, because I know more people need this information, and I will be back more with Cyclical CEO updates and teaching you how to live that bougie life and step into the seasons and the cycles and the embodiment of who you are today and tomorrow and in the future.